Okay, everyone. Hi, welcome to another class. I am recording this one just myself. They normally go a little bit smoother, and then we'll do a live Q&A from there. So this is the S&P. We're going to start with SPY. Let's just go over last week a little bit. Let's look at the weekly candle. So for 2 weeks in a row, first time in a while, we technically have two red candles. And I will say this, not the most bullish weekly candle that was put down. Not the most bullish candle at all. We need to hold 505 and really 506, or we're going to see 490 in my personal opinion. Very interesting MACD on the weekly too. Looks like we're about to get a cross down. We will see. But a very interesting weekly chart. If we pivot back to the daily, Friday wasn't the worst. Put down a candle of indecision is what I'll call it. And unless we can get back above here and get past 518, then I'm gonna have to go short term, not anything long term, bearish, just because of the candles right now. Nothing to do with, again, the chart makes the news. If this is lost, something's gonna happen that's gonna bring us to finally fill this gap in the 490s. So that's my view on SPY at the moment. I believe from a structure standpoint, it honestly would be, and sorry for the weird pause, I was answering some of your guys' questions in the Discord. But I think a gap fill down to here. Let me turn the magnet off now. Now I'm going to turn off all notifications and just get into this. I think a gap fill down to here would be fantastic. Of course, now I'm answering one more. 1 minute, guys. Okay. So I think a gap fill down here would be fantastic. A hold of the 236 would show the bullish momentum is still in place. And from a structure standpoint, it'd be great to knock out this gap before continuing up into the 540s. Again, remember, we could retrace all the way down here to 451, and it would technically still be a bullish trend, right? A retracing down to the 618 is just confirming trend. If we go over here and we go from here, which was our bottom before then, up here, look at where we retraced, right? Boom, and made our way up, right? So here, if I go like this as well, so from here to here, another same thing, here to here, here to here, all of these retracements are normal. So it would not be the worst thing to get a retracement. So I'm watching closely on SPY at the moment due to the current structure. Okay, go to coin. Coin, very interesting, right? We finally have another fib set that I believe is strong enough that we can overlay our main fibs, which our master fib set is from here, this swing high to this swing low. There's a MACD, looks gnarly on the daily. Definitely watching that, but it did look like it got a nice little bullish bounce there. If you zoom in and see, it refused to curl down, and it caught itself for sure on Friday and got back above this 618 in the master sequence. So 240, we got the 240 close above. Was really hoping we'd go and fill the gap at like 205. We filled a nice hourly gap, but we still have this gap on the daily that I think would be, again, it's not huge, right? Like when you see here, you could argue, you're like, I mean, yeah, there is, but it's not huge at all. But again, most of them fill. $5 gap, most gaps fill on most stocks. $5 is plenty. So really wanted that here. It'll be very interesting. But if we're above 240, I can't be bearish on coin. So it's really simple for me. 240 and above, I'm bullish. The road to 270 and 300 continues. Below 240, I'd love to see 200. It's really that simple. So Celsius is actually the only current options position I'm in. We got in my opinion, pretty much close to bottom. We tested this zero fib here, acted as support, bounced off. My target's 101. So this was great. We came down, filled this gap on Friday, and it looks like we are moving back up. So my target is 101. That's really that simple. If we lost 91, I would think of cutting our calls, but we're looking good. We are looking good. Goog, definitely going to be a focus this week for sure. Really nice move here. My biggest question is, are we going to do this before continuing up? And if so, great. I'll take calls at 137 instead of up here. This looks like a really, really nice W for me. We'll see what happens. Of course, we could just go up and maybe form an M, right? Instead, but I'd rather a W. Regardless, the overall structure on Google is bullish. Whether you're bearish and you think an M is forming, still need to go back up to the 150s. Whether you're bullish and think we're going to go see new highs soon enough, all roads lead up at the current moment. So Google's on watch over 145. I'm looking to go long again, down and hold of 137. I'm looking to go long again as well. Not looking to short again. I'm not ready to start shorting anything right now. Let's look at Microsoft. Beautiful breakout. I talked about this last week in class. Right now, Microsoft is, in my opinion, the strongest stock in the market. By that, I just simply mean it's kind of, as it goes, the market's kind of going right now, like SPY. So I wouldn't hate a retest here of this 408 level, top of this pattern, and then continue moving. But I want 440, 450 on Microsoft, and I'd look for January calls. Same thing, not looking to short Microsoft at the current moment. Nike, it's a share buy for me. We bought shares down here. Right now, it's still looking good, but again, I think we're going to form a little W here if you look. So boom, boom, boom. More shares for me there. Up. That's what I'm looking for on Nike. They have earnings this week. I think they're going to bounce back nice. Not looking to play any options on Nike. I don't like options on Nike that much. Lululemon, on the other hand, definitely interested in playing some options. You got a very interesting structure it's following here to a T. Broke out. I think it needs to retest, maybe even go back in the channel before earnings. Because if you look here, right, what do we have here? Right, you guys should see it hopefully. Would love an M back down and then a move up off of earnings. This thing rarely misses, right? Just look at any woman's butt in Lululemon leggings, and you know why this thing is as high as it is. So, would love a move down and then a move back up. Let's lace some fibs here. Swing low, swing high. Change these to white. Boom. Boom, boom. Not where we need it. Okay. Boom to boom. So would love a move down to the 450s and hold and move back up. Nice 38% test one more time before earnings. Target of 516 again will be my target. What I have to decide is, do I want to play this before or after earnings? Right now, the thought is wait for earnings and then play the move after. The thing with Lululemon, again, it's just so volatile, I guess is what I'll say. After earnings, that I don't want to risk too much capital. So if it would be anything for a earnings play, it would be a lotto, and you guys know I don't like doing that. So I'll probably wait until after. So I'm going to zoom out here and show you all something. MU price has memory. So MU has earnings this week as well on Wednesday. Price has memory. Reject. A full 2 years later, reject again. This 97 level is so key. Oops. Okay. Let's get our fibs. There we go. So, look what we came down and held, the 236 of this sequence, right? Would love a move down to 87. But if earnings are good, we will finally break this 97, and my target will be 110. Again, not looking to play this to the downside. You do have a bearish MACD curl about to unload. Like I said, would love a move down to 87, fill this gap here on the daily chart before earnings, and then hold and move up. I would love to get long on MU at like 87. So we'll see though. Again, not something I'm going to get long into before earnings. Wouldn't be surprised if it filled both gaps, frankly, before I move up. So, but definitely watching this and assuming it can stay over 78, the trend is still up, and would love to get long on this after earnings, assuming assuming they're good, which again, the chart's kind of mixed right now. Got those two bottom gaps to fill with a MACD curl looking to go down. I would guess we get some downside before upside. But that will have my attention after earnings. Okay, swing low to swing high here. We've traced all the way down to our 786, but held. Now we're rejecting our 50 of this sequence, right? This earnings gap is the only reason I'm even interested in this. So it's got earnings again. We all know what happened last earnings. They guided down. Anytime that happens, we're going to learn how good truly bad things are for FedEx, or if they're going to still be a viable company, which I'm of the opinion that FedEx will still be a viable company. So let's make this move, because right now, look, we had this nice M, which always results in what? A nice move up. And then from there, we formed a nice little W. Would love to get a move here, fill this gap, and keep moving. So definitely watching FedEx. Again, not something I'll probably swing to earnings. If it is, I'll let Chuck do a seesaw and I'll play with that. But definitely one I'm interested in maybe doing a seesaw with, but for sure want to play the earnings reaction after on FedEx. The chart looks juicy. The chart looks juicy indeed. Okay. And then Chewy. Chewy was the last thing on my actual watch list. Another stock with earnings this week. This W never did play out, did it? Nope. But we got up here. Would have been great when we first played it. Definitely didn't get the move up. And honestly, this was a bit aggressive by me anyways. It should have been closer to up here at 28, which we wouldn't have gotten, but that would have been a nice move. We never even played it. We played it for a day. We all know Chewy's a crappy company, but we'll see with earnings. I think same thing. This is for the cheap squad. If we can hold above 1650, I'm going to look to go long with a target of 22. If you look here, we could go form a head and shoulders here. Nice W here that just played out. Probably going to go see here before we go up. Would love to form a nice shoulder. You could argue the one was here and probably brought the downside, but meh. For sure got a double bottom bounce, but we'll see what happens off of this. Definitely not playing this before earnings. We'll wait for earnings. Let's do some of the other just popular ones that everybody likes. NVIDIA. This certainly, I drew this last week. I feel extremely confident about this now. If we can stay over 855, let's just say 850 with the drawdown that we know NVIDIA can have, or move up. I like a move up and then a move back down, and I would be buying the shit out of the dip if we even got this low. The minute we lost 800, I'd probably start buying shares, and then I would look to start to get long options like a year plus out on them. So that's my thoughts on NVIDIA. Let's look at AMD as well. Another cult favorite, of course. AMD, similar structure, right? If it can hold, 180's always been kind of the number on it. Went all the way up here to 230. Good for her, by the way, but what a freaking, this would have killed me if I was in options that day for sure. I should be selling some of my AMD shares. Anyways, if 180 holds, I'm going to look to go long. We certainly had a very interesting candle on Friday, like zero downside wick at all. It'll be very interesting to see how this opens tomorrow. It's definitely kind of like honorable mention is what I'll call it for me this week going into the week. So needs to stay above 180, and then I'd look to go long. Not looking to short that at the moment. Let's look at Snow. Huge downside gap. Let's go fill the other one at this point, right? So we have this huge upside gap, but now there's still this gap to fill here. No reason to believe, we've been filling gaps the whole way down. No reason to believe with where we are that we don't go fill this gap. While we're here, would be genuinely shocked if we didn't fill this gap down at 150, and then I'd be looking to get long. We look like we're about to have a gnarly bullish MACD cross here. If we can just get a little bit more downside, I'd be very satisfied to go long. What else? Let's look at Apple. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. Apple's going to be on watch, actually. So I drew this pattern. I drew this pattern 2 weeks ago now. And it's nice to see that we're consolidating here. We put down a nice hammer candle on Friday. If we can get over, I think it's about 173, right? Zoom in here. Yeah, 173, 172.94, call that 173. This is definitely on watch. And honestly, I think we can get at least 177, 180 out of this bad boy on this move. Apple is definitely on watch. About to get our bullish MACD cross here. I'll curl. circle that. In line with this perfect harmonic M playing out, a move above the 786 here, or $173, and I'm definitely going to get long. Just a beautiful candle on Friday to show some bullish momentum. I think that'll be it. I think that'll be it that I'll go over in terms of stuff live. So we'll do a Q&A later, and we'll go from there. Stop share and